All right, second game of the day against Sioux Falls Power. Got a bad angle here again. There's just nowhere to go except for here. And there's black netting, so I really can't get any higher. But we're going to start off with Miller and Onak, Nietzsche, Chalicki, and Letcher. Letcher with 2 goals in the first game. Nietzsche takes face off, hits off of the linesman, but he gets it back, sends it over to Miller. Miller up to Chalicki. Chalicki chips it ahead, taken by Sioux Falls and put back into neutral ice. Sioux Falls carries into the zone on the left side, takes a shot, cutting a net today for this game. Looks like the net is off. And so we'll get a face off. Face off controlled by Sioux Falls. Get it to the boards and take a shot. It goes behind cutting over to the near or to the right side. Chalicki gets it out and then takes it away. Hands it over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche to Letcher. Quick shot. Puck low, still loose. Chalicki almost had a chance to put that in. Hit off of the pad of the goaltender and out. Sioux Falls turns it over to Onak. Onak puts it up into neutral ice. Chalicki coming in on the forecheck. Nietzsche steps in front, knocks the puck away from Sioux Falls, and then Miller sends it over to Onak. We get a change. Krishkowski comes on with Credidio and Bergeron. Gintis and Aldridge at D. Puck in front. I'm not sure if Cutting pushed that to the side or it was knocked to the side, but Sioux Falls now taking it back off of the neutral zone and bringing it in. Puck over to Bergeron. Sioux Falls takes it back and goes the opposite direction. Quick shot on Cutting and off of his pad back to the backboard. Gintis takes it behind him up the board to Credidio. Credidio over to Krishkowski. Krishkowski flips that into neutral ice and goes for a change. Reynolds comes on with Paulo. Sioux Falls coming in on the left side, gets a shot, goes high off of the glass and out. No one touches it, no icing. Sioux Falls did it to themselves. Reynolds comes around high. Paulo and Polauskas are in. Pass across. Rybicki pushes him wide. Polauskas takes it and sends it up the board. Oh! Polauskas collides with Sioux Falls as they turn as he's coming in. Puck knocked over to Rybicki. Rybicki up to Reynolds. Reynolds presses the shot. He gets taken out and then pushed into the net. Since Reynolds caused the net to come off, they're going to say it's going to be an outside zone faceoff. So back to the neutral zone. Campbell, Rybicki at D. Reynolds, Paulo, Polauskas. 14:30 to go. Sioux Falls trying to escape. Puck comes off of the board and they pass it across. Coming in just over the blue line, they try to center. Campbell gets in the way. Sioux Falls sends it to the sideboard. We're battling now. Paulo and Campbell. Campbell gets that up to Reynolds. Paulo battling in the corner as the puck went back down. Puck comes loose, no icing. We got a change. Kruger comes out with Carter. Onak at D. Carter, big hit. Puck comes loose. Polauskas changes. Brown comes out. Sioux Falls coming through the middle, have to pass it over. Go across ice. It doesn't hit anybody. Kruger gets to it first. Shot just goes wide. Miller keeps it in. Tip to the corner. Kruger's there. Brown coming over to help. Kruger battling, still on the board. Brown digs it out, comes over to the opposite corner. Brown absorbs a hit. Carter comes in, gets a hit on Kruger, good stick, knocks that puck, but Sioux Falls gets a hold of it. Brown comes over to help, puck knocked to the boards. Miller passes that up to Brown, knocked back into neutral ice by Sioux Falls. Loose puck. Sioux Falls picks it up. Quick shot on cutting back into the corner. Puck goes down low. Just misses Onak over to the sideboard and up to the D. D tries to sidestep around Brown. He pushes him to the side. Onak gets in the way and pushes the puck down to Kruger. Kruger in the corner. Puck comes out and brought back up by Sioux Falls. Tried to bring it across, hits off of Brown's stick and into neutral ice. Carter giving some chase, almost gets that puck away. Shot on cutting again over to the far board. Carter sends it down, and that'll go for an icing. Nietzsche, Chalicki, and Letcher back on the ice with Prisgintis and Aldridge. 12:13 to go in the first, still 0-0. Nietzsche takes the face off. It gets knocked back by Letcher to Prisgintis and then off of the glass for Chalicki. Chalicki misses. Letcher tries to collect and bounce off his stick and in, and Fuhrer were offsides. Sioux Falls takes it the other way and goes into the corner. Puck up the boards to Chalicki. Chalicki tries to go across. Shot on cutting. Save. Another shot on cutting. Puck over to the far board for Letcher. Letcher carrying across. They give him space. He carries in. Toe drag and a shot. No rebound. Letcher taking on the whole Sioux Falls team right now. A little pushing and shoving. Kushkowski, Credidio, and Bergeron come back out. Prisgintis and Aldridge remain at D. Kushkowski pushes that puck to the side. It gets past Bergeron. Sioux Falls picks it up off of the boards and sends it forward. Prisgintis pushing into the board. Sioux Falls sends it to the corner and then back up to the point. Shot gets deflected down low. Puck now in front. Bergeron gets it over to Kushkowski. Kushkowski chips for Bergeron. Puck goes into the zone. Berge ties up. Kush gets it off of Credidio. Almost goes in. Credidio directs his shoulder on that puck a little differently, and that's a goal. Puck down low, cutting, slows it down, gets it over to Campbell. Campbell and Rybicki out at D now. Puck up to Credidio. Credidio high and into neutral ice for Bergeron. Bergeron leaves it for Campbell, and Campbell sends it deep. We got a line change, and Paulo, Reynolds, and Pulauskas come on. Puck over to the left side, and Sioux send it in. Sioux Falls send it in over to Rybicki. Rybicki to Pulauskas. Pulauskas takes a hit. Puck gets knocked away. Paulo comes in to help. D-to-D for Sioux Falls, and they try to chip it through the neutral zone and in. Rybicki picks it up and sends it to Campbell. Campbell to Paulo. Paulo's got a seam, carries in over to Pulauskas. Pulauskas looking for Reynolds, goes behind him. Reynolds sends it back in for Paulo. Paulo working to take it back from Sioux Falls. Reynolds sends it in. Paulo goes for a change. Pulauskas in the corner. Kruger comes on. Sioux Falls from behind their own goalkeep and sends the puck across ice. Chipped ahead. Miller takes it away. Gets it to Pulauskas. Pulauskas all alone. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. Miller was there for the rebound. Still 0-0. Good opportunity. Reynolds and Pulauskas go for a change. We get an icing. Carter and Brown come on. I think the clock says 9:23. No, could be. I think it's not. I think it's 9:23. Kruger ties up. Puck goes behind him. Winds up in the corner. Sioux Falls comes behind their own goaltender. Center breakout and through neutral zone. Try to get past Aldridge. It goes into the corner. Priskinsis is there. They come around and to the opposite corner, back up to the D. Puck in front. Good stick. Aldridge goes back over to the sideboard. Kruger is there. Puck comes across the other D onto the sideboard and down low again. Comes around to Carter. Carter off of the board for Kruger. Kruger cross for Brown. Bounces off of the boards. Sioux Falls D takes a stumble. Kruger chips for Brown. Brown puts it ahead. Chris Gintis is going to get there. Tries to center. Puck to the corner. Chalicki and Letcher come on. Kruger still in the corner. Puck up the board. Lawson lifting some stick there. Chalicki gets the next one. Relentless effort on the forecheck right now from Fury. Letcher trying to get that one. Sioux Falls takes it back in. Loose puck again. Over to the side. Shot. Taken by Nietzsche. Puts it back for Rybicki. Rybicki up to Letcher. Chips for Chalicki. Doesn't quite get the right angle. And Sioux Falls brings it in. Shot deflected by Letcher into the netting. And words again with Letcher and a Sioux Falls power player. 7:43 to go in the first, still 0-0. Nietzsche, Letcher, Chalicki remain. Campbell and Rybicki at D. Puck back to the backboard. Nietzsche sends it around, but it gets deflected and put in front. Rybicki sends it ahead, no icing. Nietzsche gets taken down, no call. Oh, but he calls it. So the ref right next to it didn't call it, but the ref on the opposite side did. And it was a clear trip. I think the reason we only have two is because they don't have enough. You don't want a ref? You don't want to get yelled at? So we're going to go on the power play. Nietzsche, Letcher, Paulo, Reynolds, and Onak for this power play. Sioux Falls tries to carry up the boards, gets knocked away. Nietzsche sends it to Reynolds. Reynolds shot into the glove. No rebound to be had. 1:50 to go in the power play. We'll do another face-off. Puck drops and winds up behind Sioux Falls. They send it into the opposite corner, try to clear. Don't get enough on it. Letcher picks it up, sends it over to Reynolds. Reynolds puts it in front, bounces off. Nietzsche tries to put it off of the goaltender, goes under him, and then he kicks the net off. Paulo takes the face off, wins it back to Reynolds. Reynolds, quick shot, bounces in front off of Nietzsche. Puck back to Onak, over to Reynolds, one time wide to Paulo on the boards. Paulo, good puck protection, but Sioux Falls knocks the puck into neutral ice. Onak back to get it. He's going to set back up behind Cutting. Onak leaves it for Letcher. Letcher to Nietzsche. Nietzsche carries in. Nietzsche got that puck back, but then it just kind of rolled off of his stick, and Sioux Falls dumps it back down. Polauskas and Kushkowski come onto the ice. Letcher carrying forward. Puck sent back down. Cutting slows it and gives it to Campbell. Chilicki and Carter on the ice. 28 seconds to go on the power play. Puck over to Kushkowski. Kushkowski gets an angle, tries to go 5-hole. Puck up to Campbell to Chilicki, back to Campbell. Campbell over to Chilicki. Tries to put it in front, hits off of the skate. Kushkowski off of the boards to Chilicki. Chilicki battling, puck up to Campbell. Campbell to Chilicki on the sideboard. Back to Campbell. Campbell shot. Hits off of the shoulder of the goaltender, still loose. And we're going to get a penalty. Carter's going to go. See what we're calling.
I love it. I just watch it. I watch it. I don't see it.
I think he meant this. I think I'm not sure. It looked like a mix between a tripping call and something else. But 2 minutes, 5:20 to go. We're on the kill. Letcher is out there with Nietzsche, Campbell, and Rubicki. Sioux Falls get a shot off of Cutting's pad. Letcher tries to send that out. Sioux Falls keeps it in. Cross ice pass for Sioux Falls. They try to toe drag around Campbell and knock into the corner. Back up to the D. And out now to the point, back downside. And up back to the side. Cross ice pass deflected by Letcher. Sioux Falls back to the boards and tries to carry the puck in, bring to puck deflected in front, and then cleared by Campbell. Everybody changes, and Paulo and Reynolds come on with Miller and Onak. Sioux Falls carries from behind their own goaltender and through the middle of the ice. Decide to take it wide, and they're offsides. 4:11 to go in the first, 50 seconds remaining on the kill. Face off, won by Paulo to Reynolds. Reynolds sends the puck down the ice, kept by Sioux Falls. They set up their entry. Drop the puck over and go on to the right side. Decide to send the puck in. Onak sends it hard around where Paulo is. Sioux Falls sends it back to the corner. Puck goes behind Cutting. Sioux Falls trying to work from behind, get it over to the boards and back to the corner. Puck still tied up in the corner. Sioux Falls does get it out. 3 seconds to go. Up to the blue line and then back down to the board. We're even. Credidio comes on. Miller just misses Credidio. Sioux Falls send it back in, but they're offsides. Onak picks it up and sends it in. We go for a change. Krasgintis comes on for D. And Kushkowski back out for center. Puck into the corner. Sioux Falls sends it across ice. Gets past Kushkowski. They try to get past Aldridge, but good stick by Aldridge. Puts that to the corner and now into the backboard. Puck over to Bergeron. Bergeron chips ahead for Kushkowski just a little too far. Sioux Falls in the neutral zone. Goes to carry the puck in, but it's knocked away. Credidio picks it up. Credidio, with some space, decides to carry and puts the puck into the corner. Sioux Falls picks up, puts it over the opposite corner, and then up the boards. Entering on the left side, Brzgintis is there. They drop pass. Shot goes high and over to the opposite board, kept in by their D. Puck brought down to the corner, centering pass, intercepted by Bergeron. Puts it ahead, but doesn't quite go enough for Kushkowski. Brzgintis picks it up and carries in. Credidio changes and Brown comes on. Kushkowski changes, and so does Kruger. Puck comes loose. Kruger gets a stick on it. Brown keeps the puck in, sends it back down low. Carter just coming on a change. That's a good hit. Brown keeps that puck. He trips a little over a stick, and puck comes out of the zone. Rybicki carries in and sends it around the boards. Sioux Falls tried to send it up. Brown back checks, knocks the puck away. Campbell takes it, puts it up to Kruger. Kruger gets put into the boards, and the puck didn't quite come with him, so he got an offsides. We got another change, and Reynolds, Polauskas comes out. 1:09 to go in the first, still 0-0. Paulo wins that faceoff to Polauskas, but it comes off of Polauskas' stick, and Sioux Falls sends it back the other way. Trying to get past Rybicki. Rybicki does a nice job to tie up his man. Puck goes in front of Cutting, but knocked away. Polauskas sends it back to Rybicki, and then over to Paulo. Paulo looking for Polauskas. He gloves it down and brings it in. Polauskas in the corner. Oh, takes a stumble. Paulo is going to go for tripping. .9 seconds to go in the first. We're going to go back on the kill. Paulo for a trip. Nietzsche and Letcher with Miller and Onak, I think. Yeah. Puck down the right side, and then back up to the point. Sioux Falls looking for a lane. Fury doing a good job of getting up to the shooters. Puck misses on the pass. Onak sends it back down. Goaltender decides to come out to play it. Nietzsche is there. Oh, Nietzsche got a skate on it, but it rolled past him. Sioux Falls back the other way. Gets in front on Cutting. Cutting, big save. 0.1 seconds to go. We're going to drop the puck, and that will be the end of the first period. All right, so 0-0 after one. We'll start the second period on the kill with 1:31 to go. And we're going to start the second period with Kushkowski and Reynolds, Aldridge, and Prisgintis. Kushkowski pushes that puck behind him, and then it gets pushed back to the Sioux Falls D. They're going to try to bring it in on the left side, send it in hard around. Sioux Falls up at the point. Puck gets knocked away. Reynolds sends it out of the zone. It's going to go all the way down, kill some time off. Played by the goaltender and left for Sioux Falls to start their attack. Coming out from behind the goaltender and through the middle of the ice over to the right side, just past the line, and then put it in front because Gintis is there, gets it off of the boards, and then bounces out of the zone. The goaltender really brave to play these. That puck gets chipped on net. I mean, good thing for his defenseman to be back there because that could have been a goal. Puck kicked onto Cutting and he swats it away. We're going to get another penalty. Reynolds for a hook. We have 22 seconds to go on the first penalty. We're going to be 5-on-3. We're going to send out Letcher with Nietzsche and Campbell. 15:52 to go in the second. We'll get an ice cut around the 8:30 mark, so just be aware of that. Sioux Falls sends that back. Letcher's stick was broken. That is definitely a slash. Puck off of the post. Sioux Falls couldn't get a hold of it. Letcher runs to get a change. Paulo out of the box. It's 5-on-4 now. Minute 29 to go on the kill. Puck down low for Sioux Falls. They get it up the near board. And across. Back to the point. They send it back down low to the corner. Back to the corner again. To a shooter on the side off of Cutting's head. Cutting saw that coming and used the top of his head to save it. Sioux Falls back down, trying to get a shot on. Put it down low and around. Carried up the boards and then walks across back over to the sideboard. In front, Onak gets a stick on it, goes high. Sioux Falls sends it back behind Cutting again and then up to the boards. 40 seconds to go on the kill. Campbell puts this guy into the boards. Onak steps in front of that pass, but it gets stuck on the boards. Sioux Falls back up to the point. Well, across, they had a guy back door. Luckily, that pass missed. Sioux Falls still with it. 20 seconds to go on the kill. Shot deflected on Cuttings, kicks it to the corner. Onak tying up. Puck comes out from under him. And back up top. 8 seconds to go. Puck goes high and out of play. Kushkowski and Bergeron are going to come on for the last 3 seconds with Aldridge and Prisgintis. Puck over to Aldridge. He avoids some contact and sends it down. Credidio comes out. We're even again. So 13:49 to go in the second. Puck brought in by Sioux Falls and then sent around. Puck goes to the opposite corner. Prisgintis and Credidio working on the sideboard. Credidio gets it off of the board, but gets knocked into the middle. Kushkowski takes it away, sends it to Bergeron. Bergeron chips in. Puck into the corner. Bergeron ties up. Presidio digs it out. Taken away by Sioux Falls. In front, Koszkowski was there. Puck to the corner. And back up to Sioux Falls D. Kristintis comes over to help Presidio. Puck makes its way back up. A drag shot and blocked aside by Cutting. Kristintis working on the sideboard. Presidio gets it up to Bergeron, and that'll go for an icing. I'm pretty sure that hit Bergeron's stick, but we'll bring it all the way back down. Miller and Onak come out with Carter, Brown, and Kruger. Kruger to take the face-off. Puck pushed over the board for Miller. Miller up to Carter. Good puck protection. Lawson and Brown together. Lawson shot. Looked like it hit off of the blocker. Carter, big hit. Puck gets knocked in deep. Miller is there in the corner with Onak. Onak absorbs a hit, keeps the puck. Looking for a pass to Kruger. Gets cast. It goes over to Sioux Falls. They send it back in. Onak trying to get that one dug out. Miller finds it, and it's underneath Miller now. Puck comes loose, goes into the corner. Carter takes it off of the board into the neutral ice and muscles it in. Slowed down by the goaltender. Brown is there. Brown takes it off of the board. Sioux Falls tries to send it up. It goes into the corner and then cleared. Campbell regroups with Miller. Miller walks it in and then chips it over to Brown. Brown protects it on the boards and then sends it in. Sioux Falls regroups. We get a little bit of a change, and Nietzsche comes out. Nietzsche takes it away, comes around, looking for space up to Carter. Brown goes for a change. Chalicki comes on. Sioux Falls brings it in, puts it in the corner. Carter is there to get the centering pass. Carter puts his guy into the boards. Campbell with the puck. Cross for Chalicki. Chalicki, slap shot. Stick goes flying. Rubicki tries to keep that one in. Sioux Falls brings it in. They've got a 2-on-1. Shot on Cutting. Good save. Another shot on Cutting. Goes wide. Puck up to Chalicki. Chalicki chips ahead, but kept in by Sioux Falls. D-to-D pass for Sioux Falls. Letcher harassing his man. Rubicki puts his guy into the boards, comes around for Nietzsche behind the net, looking for Chalicki. Centering pass for Sioux Falls. Shot goes wide. Rubicki comes in, puts a hit on. Letcher picks up the puck and sends it to Chalicki. Chalicki gets across, brings the puck in and waits. Down for Nietzsche, intercepted by Sioux Falls, and they take it up the middle of the ice. Brzgintis and Aldridge at D. Paulo comes on a change. Sioux Falls sends that puck back down. Brzgintis picks it up in the corner. Goes to send it around. High stick. Chalicki goes for a change. And Sioux Falls has to play it. So we'll get an in-zone face-off. Pulauskas and Reynolds joins Paulo. .9:37 to go in the second period. coach, Sioux Falls coach, had something to say. Not really quite sure. Nothing changed, as far as I could tell. Fury control the face-off. Aldridge sends it across, hits off of Pulowski's stick and over the sideboard. Brzgintis tries to keep that in. It bounces off his stick. Sioux Falls picks it up as we would have been offsides if we played it. Blocker saved by cutting.
So freaky when it comes out.
Paulo wins that face-off back to Brzgintis. Brzgintis off of the glass, kicked in, but Paulo is there, sends it up for Reynolds. Reynolds avoids a contact, gets taken down. Couldn't quite get the puck over to Pulowskis. Sioux Falls brings the puck back into the neutral zone. Brzgintis steps in front of a pass. It deflects out of play, and we'll get a face-off. I think that says 9 minutes to go. 8:30. I think they're talking about the ice cut. If they want to go to ice cut now, or they want to. All right, so we're gonna go to ice cut now. It's close enough to halfway. So we'll get some Zamboni time, and I'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. We're going to come back for the second part of the second period. 9 minutes to go. Paulo, Reynolds, Pulauskas with Onak and Miller. Face-off pushed up by Paulo to Pulauskas. Pulauskas carries in. He gets taken off of the stick and on the boards. Reynolds tries to get a hold of it. Sioux Falls takes it away. Passing wide. Puck on the boards. Miller comes over with Paulo. Pins it. Reynolds sitting just outside, waiting for that puck to come free. It does. Gets chipped up to the D, and they send it back down. Onak over to Pulauskas. Pulauskas back down low over to Miller. Miller for Reynolds. Reynolds to Paulo. Paulo across for Pulauskas. Back to Paulo. Just missed him. He had him backdoor. Went a little too far. Sioux Falls carries in, trying to get past Campbell. Miller is getting face mask. No call. Go for a change. Nietzsche comes on. Reynolds picks that puck up, sends it over to Rybicki. Rybicki, shot on, hits off of the blocker and down low. Reynolds centers for Letcher. Letcher's shot goes wide. Nietzsche picks it back up. Reynolds changes and Chalicki comes on. Puck back behind Sioux Falls. They put it over to the far board and across. Campbell picks up the puck and sends it to Rybicki. Rybicki up for Letcher. Letcher able to avoid contact, carries the puck in. He's got Chalicki with him. Still carrying it through. Goes behind the net, tries to center. Bounces off. I think a defenseman and on net. And covered by the Sioux Falls goaltender. This glass is terrible. Kushkowski, Bergeron, and Credidio come out with Przgintis and Aldridge. Przgintis puts that puck down low after the faceoff win from Kushkowski. Sioux Falls carries forward, tries to get past Credidio and Aldridge. A couple of stick deflections. Puck comes on cutting. He knocks it below. Aldridge sends it over to Credidio. Credidio up to Kushkowski. Kushkowski for Bergeron. Bergeron centering, hits the side of the net. Kushkowski tried to put it back in and then knocks over to Credidio. Credidio sends it back in deep. Kushkowski working in the corner. Lost his stick, goes to get it. Sioux Falls run into each other. Puck makes its way to Przgintis. Przgintis' pass misses Kushkowski and goes for an icing. Carter, Kruger, Brown, Onak, and Miller come out. Kruger pushed that puck to the side, but it bounced the wrong way. Good block by Kruger, gets that over to Carter. Carter holds up, gets it to Onak. Onak sends it in. We got to tag up. Puck goes back down low behind the goaltender. Carter giving some pressure. Puck over to Miller. Miller up for Brown. Brown lifts the stick. It goes in the neutral zone. D for Sioux Falls. Around. Brown steals it. Brown to Carter. Carter puts it in front. Brown behind the net. Over to Carter. Looks like the net's off. 5:30 to go in the second. Good opportunity. But the net came off, and we'll get a change. Paulo, Pulauskas, Reynolds, Rybicki, and Campbell. Face off. Taken by Sioux Falls. They put it into the corner. Paulo is there. He tries to get it up to Campbell. Misses past Sioux Falls up to Campbell. Campbell's shot. Looks like it was deflected. And that's a goal. Not sure who it. I'm not sure. It hit a Sioux Falls player, but I'm not sure where. So Campbell with the goal from Paulo. And it's 1-0 Fury. Campbell keeps that puck in, puts it on, bounces a little too far for the goaltender to glove it. Paulo working on the sideboard, brings it in a little, tries to get a shot. It hits a player in front. All right, I don't know. Ref's calling something here. Pulauskas is going to go in for a slash. Oh, and then offsetting penalty. So it's like they're a little back and forth. So we'll get a change. Chalicki, Nietzsche, Letcher, Rubicki, and Campbell. 4:55 to go in the second. Still 1-0. Puck kind of getting knocked around a little bit. Good stick lift by Letcher. Takes it away and goes up the boards. Puck in the corner. Letcher tried to center that. It hit a skate. Nietzsche puts his man into the boards. Puck came loose to Sioux Falls. They try to carry through the neutral zone. Puck comes out. They've got to come back on. Nietzsche gets a hit. Puck comes loose. Chalicki comes around, knocks the puck into the zone. Nietzsche deflects it over to Campbell. Campbell's shot is blocked. Knocked back into neutral ice by Chalicki. Rubicki over to Chalicki and back into the zone. Chalicki sends it across the crease. Changes and Aldridge comes on. Letcher changes. Gradidio comes on. Kushkowski comes on for Nietzsche. Shot on cutting, put in front. Pass over to Bergeron. Bergeron looking to get it to Kushkowski. Gradidio chips it in, however. Gradidio in the corner. Puck comes loose and up the boards for Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls trying to get past Aldridge and couldn't. They pass it across. Good stick by Priskintis, puck to the corner. Puck behind cutting and centering. Misses everybody, goes wide. Shot blocked in front. Another opportunity, cutting with a good stick, pushes it aside. Kushkowski gets that puck up to Gradidio. Gradidio gets into the zone. Taken away by Sioux Falls, and they send it down. It's not going to go for icing. Aldridge gets there first. Back up the boards to Kushkowski. Chips it into neutral ice for Gradidio. Gradidio takes that back and regroups. He's got space. Decides to take it in. Slap shot. Goes wide. Up the boards. Bergeron keeps it in. Kruger comes on for Kushkowski. Gradidio changes. Brown comes on. Puck up to Brown. Brown sends it across. Sioux Falls brings it in, gets a move past Onak. Good D, however, we get that over to the sideboard. Kruger battling, Miller, centering pass. Brown gets in front of it and sends it to Carter. Carter tries to get past one, deflects off, and Sioux Falls sends it the other way. Knocked away. Brown takes it, tries to send it into the opposite corner, intercepted by Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls misplays it in the neutral ice, and Miller and Brown are both there. Brown carries in, drops it for Kruger. Kruger's shot off of the pads into the corner. Brown takes it off of the boards, sends it back around into the opposite corner. Kruger comes over, missing, and Sioux Falls back up the right side. Sioux Falls tries to get a pass across, hits off of a skate, doesn't make it in, and they're going to send it back on cutting. Onak picking up. He's got Carter. Carter's got space. Brown's on the opposite side. Carter brings it to the middle, takes a shot, hits off of the goaltender. Brown changes. Reynolds comes on. Campbell to Miller. Miller centering, looking for a pass there, but it's intercepted by Sioux Falls. Apollo's come on for Kruger. Reynolds the other way. Oh, Reynolds loses an edge. Puck to Campbell. Campbell sends it deep, and Carter's able to get off. Letcher comes on. Puck in front. Apollo looking for Letcher. Goes a little too far, and that'll be an icing. 45.5 seconds. Letcher comes off. Pulauskas. Oh, we change. Pulauskas goes back to the bench, and Nietzsche, Chalicki, and Letcher come on the ice. Face-off hits off of the official, and Sioux Falls pushes it back. Try to center. Good stick by Nietzsche. Puck flipped into neutral ice. Letcher sends it forward for Chalicki. It misses, goes to Rubicki. Rubicki off of the glass into the corner. Sioux Falls takes a stumble. Puck behind the goaltender. 20 seconds left in the period. Cross-ice pass for Sioux Falls, and then a little touch pass forward. Puck comes in deep. Campbell's there. Centering pass. Misses. A good couple of opportunities. All pushed aside, and then Fury ices. 3.1 seconds to go. It's a sad balloon. Paulo comes in to take the face off, put on cutting, and pushed aside, and that'll be the end of the second period.
This was a valuable. Oh yeah, keep your nose full.
I don't know. There's a whole bunch of them up in the rafters. They must have had something. I mean, between the balloons and the Three Stooges, there's a lot going on here. Is this Larry Moe and Curly, or is Shep here too? Oh, Larry Moe. And a harem. I never really looked into the Three Stooges. I gotta imagine that their story is pretty fascinating.
Oh yeah, cool. They made a made-for-TV movie 25 years ago.
Getting ready for the start of the third. And if you're wondering why I'm talking about the Three Stooges, it's because there's a giant television right here with the Three Stooges playing. We're going to start the period off with Pulauskas, Paulo, and Reynolds, Chris Gintis, and Aldridge. Puck drop, one back by Sioux Falls. Cross ice pass and into the opposite corner. Puck goes behind cutting. Aldridge is there. A lot of lost edges there. Oh, puck right in front. Shot is missed. Another opportunity in front. Cutting, pushing everything aside. Puck up the boards, kept in, and goes over to the opposite side. Paulo is there. Paulo chips ahead for Reynolds. That comes off of a Sioux Falls stick. We get a change. Credidio comes out with Krzyzkowski. Puck to the sideboard. Sioux Falls chips it across and in. Puck goes on cutting. He puts it back for Onak and cleared. Credidio comes in on the forecheck. Kolauskas changes. Bergeron comes on. Puck into neutral ice. Carried in. The puck makes its way to the backside of cutting. Pushed into the corner by Miller. Krzyzkowski intercepts a pass and flips it ahead for Bergeron, but it makes its way to Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls sends it back in. Puck up top. Shot goes wide of cutting over to the opposite board. Bergeron comes up. Touch pass up to the point. Wide of cutting. Krzyzkowski chips it ahead for Credidio. Credidio to the middle of the ice. Drags the shot, but it hits into the shin pads. Rybicki sends that to Campbell. Over to Burge. Burge chips, and we go for a change. Kruger comes on. Brown comes on. Puck into neutral ice. Brown gets a stick on it, and then sends it in. Kruger over to the sideboard. Oh, Sioux Falls tried to collect that, and they couldn't. Campbell sends it in. Brown picks it up. Centering pass deflected and into the netting. Kruger standing in front of the net. Carter, Brown, and Kruger to take this face-off with Campbell and Rybicki. 14:42 to go in the game. Fury up 1 after the Campbell goal. Kruger pushes that face-off to Rybicki. Rybicki gets a shot. It gets off of somebody, off of the back glass. Puck over to the sideboard and brought back into the zone. Carter picks it up. Loses it behind the net. Rybicki over to help. Carter's able to regain control. Carries it up the ice. Off of the boards for Kruger. Kruger is offsides. It was close. I can't see the lines very well over there. Nietzsche, Letcher, and Chalicki come back out with Prisgintis and Aldridge. Sioux Falls misplays a puck, and Aldridge sends it back into the neutral ice. Chalicki got tied up on the sideboard there, but Letcher's able to steal that puck back. He left it for Prisgintis. Sioux Falls got there first. Prisgintis gets it back, enters in, tries to get a drag in, takes a hit. Sioux Falls back in control. They send it high to a guy they had open. Good tie up. I think Letcher was back helping out. So the Sioux Falls didn't get an opportunity to get a good shot off. Aldridge changes and Onak comes on. Prisgintis picks up the loose puck and sends it and goes for his change. Puck to the corner. Miller just came on and change intercepted that pass. Reynolds sends the puck in. Letcher is there. Puck off of the boards. Reynolds picks it up. He's got a little bit of space. Tries to chip that over. Knocked away. Puck up the boards for Paulo. Paulo, quick shot. Deflected by Letcher. Hits off of the glass over to the sideboard. Letcher gets a hit in. Pass across is intercepted. Miller over to Onak, and Onak to the opposite corner. Puck behind the net. Paulo coming in fast. He gets it to Reynolds. Reynolds looking for a pass to Kolauskas. Kolauskas had skated a little further in the zone than Reynolds had expected, and the puck went down. Miller takes a cross check. Kolauskas avoids heavy contact and gets the puck in deep. Sioux Falls trying to get it out of the corner here. Carries it on the right side and back into neutral ice. Puck to the corner with Onak. Onak gets a hit, but the puck's already escaped over to Miller. Miller to Pulauskas, looking for Reynolds. No icing. It's in the corner. Reynolds gets past, but takes a stumble. Sioux Falls picks it up. Cross, good stick. Rubicki picks that up, gets it, tries to go across, but it does find its way to Pulauskas, just rolls past him. Back on the left side. Sioux Falls Power carrying it in. Good pass by Kushkowski. Oh! Campbell with the pass from Presidio tried to go 5-hole and just kind of falls into the boards. That was a great play. Kushkowski, Presidio to Campbell. Bergeron now with the puck carries it forward to Presidio, gets knocked away by Sioux Falls. They regroup, back up the boards, and the neutral ice gets past Prisgintis and into the corner. Aldridge back to help. Kruger's out again. Puck in the corner, put back up, and a shot gloved by Cutting. Brown and Carter come back out. 11-11 left in the game. 1-0 Fury. Face-off, push forward. Carter, great stick. He gets taken down. No call. That was definitely a trip. People don't just fall like that normally unless they're getting shot in a movie. Puck up to the D, back across and down low. Hits off of Sioux Falls Power and Aldridge and goes out of play. We'll get a D change. Onak and Miller coming on for Aldridge and Prisgintis. Kruger, Brown, and Carter out there for this face-off. Kruger to take the draw. Sioux Falls controls that face-off, gets it back to their D. Carter out to give some pressure. Pass in front, knocked away. Brown picks it up, gets it to Carter, bounces off of his stick over the sideboard. Kruger coming in hard. Carter gets pinned. Puck still down low. Sioux Falls picks it up. Loose puck knocked away by Kruger. Carter takes another cross check. They're not calling anything. Puck brought through neutral ice over the right side. Miller in the corner, puck around and up the boards. Kruger comes up to challenge. Puck gets deflected back and into the corner. Brown over to pick it up. Brown looking for a pass. Deflects off of Sioux Falls. Kruger picks it up, gets tied up and knocked away. Back up the boards. Letcher is on. Brown went for a change. Kruger's going for a change. Chalicki's come on for Carter. Miller and Campbell out at D. Nietzsche's on. Pass just misses Nietzsche. Sioux Falls tries to get it back. Good stick by Letcher. Letcher having a fantastic weekend. Loose puck to Nietzsche. Nietzsche gets a shot into the chest of the goaltender. No rebound. 9:34 to go. Nietzsche to take the face-off. One back to Campbell. Campbell comes down the boards, gets it to Letcher. Letcher, what a really good one-time opportunity. Just missed wide of the net. Rubicki gloves that down and puts it on the ice. Takes a hit and makes its way to Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls off of the board. Campbell sends it back forward. Puck bounces off of the boards and back into neutral ice. Big hit, Nietzsche. Puck flung too high for Chalicki to reach, and we're calling icing. Now Chalicki's getting hit. Everybody's just trying to change. Chalicki just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. Aldridge and Prisgintis out at D with Paulo, Reynolds, and Pulauskas. Face-off controlled by Sioux Falls. They got a shot on. Cutting, stopping everything right now. Pushes that behind him. Puck back down to the corner. Prisgintis chips it ahead for Reynolds. Reynolds and Pulauskas tie up each other. Loose puck to Pulauskas. Pulauskas shot low. Puck in front. And what little rebound there was covered right away. We get a quick whistle. Miller and Onak coming back on at D. Reynolds to take this draw. Puck behind over to Miller. Miller gets a shot off of the blocker and into the corner. Pulauskas is there, ties up. Pulauskas gets taken down. Puck still in the corner. Paulo gets taken down. Paulo digs that out, gets it to Reynolds. Reynolds quick shot blocked, kept in by Onak. Onak sends it down low, comes back behind the goaltender. Reynolds is there, comes loose. Bergeron and Kushkowski come on a change. Puck knocked over to Reynolds. Reynolds working through a hook. Puck gets brought back in by Sioux Falls and back behind the net. Onak knocks that puck down and carries it forward. He's got Kushkowski with him, sends it in the opposite corner. Presidio coming in. Puck kept in by Bergeron to the corner. Puck to Kushkowski, goes cross ice for Campbell. Campbell drags one, gets a shot, it's still loose. Kushkowski tries to get off of the back of the goaltender over to Rubicki. Kushkowski in the corner again. Takes a hit, but still sends it into the corner. Puck comes off the boards. Bergeron is there. Up to Rubicki. Rubicki. Shot goes wide over to the opposite board. Kushkowski over to check. Sioux Falls trying to get a pass. Rubicki is there. Predidio's hooked. Puck gets knocked away. Rubicki picks up off of the board. And it looks like it hit somebody on the bench. 7:07 to go in the game. Kruger, Carter, and Brown are going to come off the bench. Campbell and Rubicki remain at D. Face off one to the corner for Rubicki. Oh, Rubicki tries to get a pass. He gets stuck on the boards. Dug out by Kruger. Kruger to Carter. Carter gets a stick on it, but he wasn't quite to center ice, and that'll be an icing. Kruger back in to take the face-off. One back by Sioux Falls. They bring it up. Brown blocks it. Puck protection knocks it ahead. Campbell picks it up. Campbell's shot goes wide and over to the opposite board. Kruger pushing it into the corner. Campbell avoids a hit. Kruger gets into the scrum. Puck goes up to Campbell. Campbell in front. Puck is loose. Knocked away by Carter. Sioux Falls goes the opposite, tries to carry in. Campbell is there. Drop pass and into the corner. Campbell takes that away, goes up the boards for Carter. Carter and Kruger battling. Chalicki's come on for Brown. Puck deflected over. Campbell gets a stick on it over to the sideboard. Sioux Falls goes to put the puck in again over to the opposite side. Knocked out by Kruger. Kruger changes. Sioux Falls behind the net. Nietzsche and Letcher back on the ice. And that'll be an icing. Aldridge and Prisgintis at D. 5:45 to go in the third. Still 1-0 Fury. Nietzsche to take this face off. Wins that back to Prisgintis. Prisgintis sends it to the corner for Chalicki. Chalicki tries to send that back up the boards, intercepted by Sioux Falls. Cross ice pass bounces off of the boards and knocked away by Aldridge. Sioux Falls gets it back and sends it back behind the net. Prisgintis puts that up for Letcher. Letcher's got room, so he's going to just carry in. Tries to get it over to Nietzsche, winds up, or to Chalicki, I'm sorry, winds up with Prisgintis, and Prisgintis shot into the glove of the goaltender. Need to get some tiny gloves. They're a little chilly. These rinks down here are cold. It's got to be, since it's always at least 80.
Yeah.
Oh, Chalicki dumps his man, gets the puck back, it gets a shot, but it's blocked in front. Sioux Falls back the other way, tries to get past Prisgintis. He ties up. Nietzsche chips that puck for Letcher. Sioux Falls keeps it in. Ooh, deflected in front. I think that came off of cutting and across. Puck comes out, and Sioux Falls is offsides. We're going to get a change. Reynolds, Pulauskas, and Paulo are going to come back on. 4:54 to go in the game. Paulo ties up his man, puck knocked behind him. Miller sends that forward. It gets off of the board. Reynolds is sent it back in. Pulauskas tried to get a hold of it. Puck off of the boards, and Sioux Falls comes back in. Deflected back out into the neutral zone. Sioux Falls has to tag back up and send it back in. Paulo sends it off of the glass for Reynolds. Reynolds across for Pulauskas. Pulauskas takes a shot. Goal! Pulauskas snipes one, bar down, with 4:17 to go in the game, and it's 2-0. I think that was Pulauskas from Reynolds. My laptop died, so can't type that one in. 4:17 to go, 2-0. Fury, Kushkowski, Bergeron, and Credidio come on. Face-off one back by Sioux Falls. Onak and Miller are at D. Puck knocked into the neutral zone. Bergeron sends it forward for Kushkowski, goes a little too far. Sioux Falls comes back the other way. Bergeron, good stick, knocks that puck to the boards. Sioux Falls still chips it forward, though. Puck goes across, no shot on, and into the corner. Whiff on a shot there by Sioux Falls. Credidio puts him into the shot, puck in front. Another opportunity. Cutting saved the first one. The second one was blocked. Sioux Falls broke a stick. A lot of broken sticks so far. Florida broke a bunch of sticks in the first game, too. Credidio sends that back to Onak. Onak sends it across. Kruger comes on a change. Burrs push that puck into the zone, and Sioux Falls collects behind their goaltender. Back up the boards. Bergeron goes for a change. Brown and Kruger are out. Puck turned over. Brown chips it forward for Kruger. Kruger on the boards. Brown chips it to the corner. Puck up the sideboard and put across off of the board. Campbell is there. Campbell hard off of the board. Sioux Falls sends it back. Brown trying to push. Sioux Falls trying to get something. Puck gets tied up, and then they send it down low. Behind Cutting, Kruger is there. Kruger's going to put his guy into the boards. Puck up to the point. Deflected. Puck goes back around. 2:31 to go. They're going to pull. They want to pull the goalie, but they don't have control of the puck. So they do send it cutting covers, and they will get the goalie off. So they'll have the sixth attacker. We'll get to change. Chalicki, Nietzsche, and Letcher are going to come on the ice. I think it says 2:22 left. Aldridge and Prisgintis at D. While we're waiting for the puck drop, let's check out the Three Stooges. There we go. Face off one by Sioux Falls. They whiff. Have to send it in. Chalicki with a nice hit. Puck goes on, cutting covers. Nietzsche protecting his goalie. Gives a little bit of a shove. Words being said. We'll get another face off. Sioux Falls on the right side. Good stick by Chalicki. Sends it down. Sioux Falls hits it. So it's going to go back behind the net. They're going to set up. Drop pass and carry forward. Try to pass to the side. It gets knocked away. Chalicki battling on the sideboard. Sioux Falls sends it in on cutting. Cutting sends it hard. Sioux Falls was offsides. They have to tag. Send it back down and around. Chalicki is there. Chalicki sends it all the way down. That'll be an icing. We'll get another change, and Pulauskas, Paulo, and Reynolds will come on. Minute 35 to go. Still 2-0. And looks like we're going to get a timeout here. A minute 35 left. Timeout is over. Sioux Falls is going to send another attempt. So Aldridge, Prisgintis, Paulo, Reynolds, and Pulauskas. Face-off control by Sioux Falls. They go back door. Looks like they got a one-timer off. The net was off. They're calling a goal.
Did you go bar down? Is that what it did? What do you how did it do? What did it do? No, like you hit the got stuck in the back.
So 2-1 after the Sioux Falls goal. Goalie's back in net for now. Reynolds sends that puck down low. Pulauskas is on. Back down low again. They're going to set up. Minute 21 to go. Puck moving up through the neutral zone. Cross-ice pass and back in. Puck comes around. Goalie comes off. Paulo picks that puck up in the back. Pins it. Puck up to the D. Pulauskas comes up. Big block by Pulauskas. Puck still kept in and flipped behind cutting. Puck comes loose. Paulo picks it up. Off of the boards, it's going to go all the way down. that'll be an icing. 50.4 seconds to go. Keep the same personnel. We do have different D though. Onak and Miller came out of D. Shot, another block shot by Pulauskas. Puck across. I think that says 38.2 seconds. Puck is out. Over to Reynolds. Cross ice pass for Sioux Falls. They dump it in. Glove down by Miller. Knocked aside. And sent back down by Sioux Falls. Puck down low. Up the boards. Pulauskas chips it out. Reynolds comes in hard. Sioux Falls sends that puck back up and then down deep. Cutting. Slows it down. Leaves it for Onak. Onak pins it. 5 seconds to go. Onak and Miller working behind the net, trying to keep that puck pinned. And the clock expires, and we get a 2-1 win. Pulauskas with 2 huge blocks at the end of this game, and also with the game-winning goal. So we'll see everybody tomorrow. I think our game is at 6 or 5. 5 this time? 6? Today was 5. Tomorrow 6.
Yeah.
All right. So 6 o'clock tomorrow. We'll see you guys all there.